Hello everybody, Helcrex here, and welcome to another Mercenary Thoughts from the Inner Sphere episode, 323? Yeah, definitely 323. Alright, today we're going to be talking about the Black Lanner. That's a pretty good, decent mech. It's 55 tons, so it's slightly faster than my favorite Stormcrow. Alright, so we have a 711 with mask. Doesn't have jump jets, but it has mass, so it can pip up the speed just a wee bit by engaging the mask superdrive. So, has an XL engine, which is clan, which isn't a big deal. It's just pretty much standard when it comes to clan stuff. It has 10 double heat sinks on the engine, so we got that going for it. It has 8 tons of ferrofibrous armor for 154 points, which is roughly, 31 points, I think, short of max. So if you added another ton and a half of ferrofibrous armor, it probably would get really close to being maxed out. But, they wanted to have at least some weapons on this thing, I guess. And let's see, it has, 13 tons of pod space to go. It also has endo steel, forgot to mention that. So it does have ferrofibrous and endo steel and X-Clan XL engine, so it has all the important things added on so it can get as much tonnage as possible to send stuff down range. And a mech that is a 711 is pretty good, especially when you're facing off against, let's say, inner sphere equipment. It's pretty much hitting above its weight class, and it's a major threat for the speed. Now, the mech was pretty much designed to operate with lighter mechs, which I totally agree with. When you're 711, you fall into almost the recon aspect of the game. And especially if you're looking at it from the point of view of the inner sphere, 711 is like a Jenner. So, but you're running around at 55 tons, so you got 20 more tons on them, and you can bully any type of inner sphere recon element out there. And it won't be operating by itself at all, so it's going to have some other wonderful little mechs run around with it. So you got that. Now, with that 13 tons of pod space, the primary configuration has an LRM-10 in the left torso with a ton of ammunition. And in the right torso, we have an SRM-6 with a ton of ammunition, 2 ER medium lasers in the left arm, and an ER large laser in the right arm, with ECM in the head. So, gotta love that. I like that. The concept of throwing ECM on most of my mechs, if possible, due to the fact that there's so much, by the time 3050 rolls around, there's so much Artemis floating around on almost everything. For the most part, yeah, there's some mech, like here it has a LRM-10 without Artemis, obviously, so it won't benefit from anything. But you can help shut that down if someone's running Artemis on board, or as the Inner Sphere loves to use, the infamous C3 computers. Now, with a 711 mech like this, it can get in close and shut down ECM, or with its ECM can shut down C3 networks. So you can't pass your little information through the bubble. So you run these guys in towards the backfield with the ECM, and it's like, yep, sorry, you're not getting that benefit anymore. So there you go. So that is a good tactic. And as a 711, yeah, you can do drive-bys pretty good. Now, with the primary configuration, you got that ER large laser and an LRM-10. So it does have some good long-range weaponry, 25, 21 out respectively. So it can do some parting shots here and there. Personally, I probably would have dumped off that LRM-10 and gave myself some other assorted goodies, but hey, like upgrade the SRM-6 to a streak and then give myself an ER medium laser and another heat sink so I don't have to worry about heat as much for shorter range conflict. But it is what it is. So, yeah, just how they configured it. It's an Omni mech. You can configure it however you want to. It's the configurations prime A, B, C, D, the alphabet prime. Those are just your standard configurations that you can just plug and play, just hit print. Now, if you have access to the capability of designing your own one with the pod space available, you can throw whatever you want on. There's that. But if you don't, well, then you're stuck with whatever they give you. So, yeah, it's highly capable. It's like when you get in closer, you can start throwing in the ER medium lasers, not the streak, but the SRM6. You do have the capability of doing crit hunting with the SRM. So when you get closer, you're looking at, 12, let's see, 16, 20. Yeah, it's like you're running fairly cool even with 20 heat sinks. As long as it's the big heat thing is when you throw that ER large into the mix. And obviously you're going to use that ER large until you're closer. So you can use the ER large and a couple ER mediums and run. And why wouldn't you constantly run with the thing? The speed is what keeps this thing from taking a lot of hits. But you can do that for a turn, and then you have to shut something off and cool off and back to it. It's like every other turn type of thing. But then you look at tossing in the LRM-10. Well, then you are probably going to have to maybe just fire one ER medium laser. But some of you wild mech pilots was like, I got all those weapons, I'm going to constantly fire them until I'm sitting around 15 heat, and it's like I'm slowing down, and then they just pile drive you into the ground. Because if it is a clan mech, but you don't have infinite amount of armor to take care of such situations. So kind of shepherd your mechs. Don't start shooting yourself in the foot by adding all kinds of extra mods to yourself to hinder your gameplay. Let the other guy make those mistakes. All right, so there are a bunch of other configurations with this mech. Let me pull them up here. Let's see, they got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, T, X. There is a ton of them. But, they don't have a lot of weapons capability, so there's not much to be said. Now, the Prime does come in at close to 2,300 battle value. So it is kind of an expensive little mech to be running around with. But, it is what it is. Configuration A. This one is your, they like to call it the Electronic Warfare Scouting Mech. It has an active probe. It has ECM and a tag system for getting in close and dropping artillery. So there's that. It does have an ERPPC and a pair of medium pulse lasers. So it does have some teeth. So it can sit out to 23 and knock off 15-point shot groups. And then you have the 2 pulse lasers at the top in there. Typically, if I get in closer, I'd probably just use a PPC and a medium pulse laser. So that's going to be around 19. And then if you're running, you're only going up 1 heat. You can do that for 4 turns. And if you really want to push the heat up really quick, you can fire both medium pulse lasers and the PPC and run. And that puts you at 25, and you're right up at 5 heat. And then you probably would think about using your mask to kick your speed up, boost your way out of there to try to cool it off. But, you're going to lose a little bit of movement. This does come out over 2,300 battle value, so it has some expense to come with it. But it's your eyes and ears type of mech. Keep it alive. Basically, you don't want to hinder it down, slow it down, where a slow mech gets dead. I'll just put it that way. All right, configuration B. All right, this is a dedicated fire support model. It has a pair of LRM-20s, 3 tons of ammunition, and it has a battle value about 19.5. So, all you are running around with is LRMs. Not that it's a problem for clans because they can shoot at point blank range. So, yeah, the damage output has a potential of 40. So, there's that. That's not bad at all. All right, so how would I use this one? Yeah, it's one of those ones where you might consider possibly parking, find yourself a nice place to park it and then just rain down fire. If they don't notice you very well. But let me tell you, you start hitting them with 20, 40 points of damage range, yeah, you're going to attract some attention. So the best bet is just keep on moving and work your way around to the back and sides type of deal, along with your fellow light recons slash mechs. All right, configuration C. All right, this one has 6 ER medium lasers and a streak 6, and has 3 extra double heat sinks. Comes in at 2,500 battle value. A little expensive, but you can dissipate 26. But there's that but thing coming along. You do have those ER medium lasers, which sort of gives you a bit of heat. They're 5 each, so yeah, you have 6 of those things, so that's 30 heat. And then if you throw the streak in, that's 34. And if you run, that's 36. You just went 10 up on the heat scale. Now, I can envision this one hunting battle armor. Run around taking out the little crunchy infantry, those types. And just ripping a bunch of armor off of them and then running back away from it. Say, hey, I'll dive in, get in range, hit them, and then dive out, keep out of the range of their weapon systems and kind of cool off, and then dive in maybe with the coup de grace, and just go that route. So that's kind of how I envision using that one, tearing up battle armor. Configuration D. All right, this one has a pair of medium pulse lasers. Alrighty. Has an SRM-6. Okay. Has an ER small laser, a flamer, 4 machine guns, and has an active probe. Comes in at 1,800 battle value. This one screams, let's go kill crunchy infantry. It does have the medium pulse lasers and SRM-6, basically in the ER small to handle light mechs, keep them at bay. And the flamer goes in and the 4 machine guns. Let me tell you, you hit with the 4 machine guns and the flamer on an infantry platoon, it is gone. You're going to obliterate it. So basically, if you're fighting in conventional combined arms targets, you have one of these guys, you go in and just obliterate a platoon a turn. Even if you miss with a couple of the machine guns, that is a lot of dead infantry. And if you don't get rid of all of them, there's probably only a handful left. And you basically just move on to the next target and totally ignore it. It's like it's ripped down to a squad, so it's like pinpricking damage, if anything. That type of deal. And you'd have maybe one of your follow-on light mechs that's coming along with you will finish it off with a secondary weapon or something of some type. All right, configuration E. This one uses an ATM-12, 3 tons of ammunition, and it has 3 ER medium lasers. It comes in at slightly over 2,300 battle value. All right. The ATM can really get some good range out, do some damage, but when you get in close with it, now you're looking at your damage output is looking pretty good, especially if you hit with all 12 with the short range HE type hit. So yeah, the damage output output can go drastically high with this mech, but don't always guarantee you're going to hit with it or that you're going to get a good roll. You know, that's like, hey, hit with it. Ah, crud, you know, we got a low hit. But that's just what it is. That's the game. But I can see this one really tearing. It's like you hit a light or medium mech with that amount of damage, they're going to know it, and you're probably going to punch holes through it. And you're not going to probably be operating by yourself either. So, yeah, your lighter mechs that are running around in your star are going to be, hey, you hit first, and then we'll just follow up with our little plinky shots and just see what we can do. All right. Configuration F. This one carries 5, yes, you heard this, 5 medium pulse lasers in the right arm, 2 machine gun arrays in the left arm, and each carries 3 light machine guns. Has 6 machine guns. All use the same half-ton in the ammo bay. And has a light active probe, comes in at 2200 battle value. Yeah, this was just another infantry killer. You know, your standard light infantry, you know, straight leg, crunchy types. You can tear them up with the machine gun arrays. Does a good job. All right. If there's an infantry platoon left over after you get done with it, I'd be surprised. And then you got the 5 medium pulse lasers. Let me tell you, 5 medium pulse lasers, yes, you're going to be probably use all 5 of them for 2 turns before you're reached beyond the heat threshold that you typically will run at, because I'm always going to be running this thing as fast as possible. But yeah, you get in there, even against a standard mech, you hit with the 5 medium pulse lasers and then hit them with the machine gun array if you're close enough. Yeah, that turns it into your crit hunting style weapon systems also. So it is kind of a versatile configuration where you can use it against multiple different targets. You got infantry, you can kill them. You can see light mechs, you can kill them. Mid to late game where you got some heavies and assault mechs that are tore up, you get that thing in close and then hit them with the machine gun arrays. Yeah, you're going to be like ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. You're going to hear the crits rattling up, and that mech may soon disappear. So there's that. All right, configuration G. All right. This main firepower, this configuration is a ER large pulse laser in the right arm. It's supplemented by 4 LRM-5 launchers, 1 in the right torso, left torso, 2 in the left arm, with 2 tons of ammunition, a little over 1900 battle value. And it's one of those wonderful things where instead of carrying a single LRM-10, you can always carry 2 LRM-5s and save yourself some weight. And this one is carrying 4 of them. And I would look at the LRM-5s as long-range plinking weapon systems that have the potential for hunting crits. And then with an ER large pulse laser, hey, you got a little bit of extra range, and you're going to be punching holes into somebody with those. So there's that. You know, there's nothing to sneeze about with this one. It's a harassment, fast moving mech, and you know, it's got plenty of ammunition for extended operations. So yeah, like why not? So just make good use of it. Okay, configuration H. All right, this one mounts 4 additional double heat sinks, and now we have 14, so you can dissipate 28. Has a heavy large laser and a pair of medium pulse lasers. It also has ECM. This one comes in slightly over 1900 battle value. So yeah, the range isn't all that great. It's similar to your standard weapon, but you hit with that heavy large laser, they're going to know it, because the armor is going to disappear in a heartbeat, and they're not going to be happy with you at all. So there's that. Now that's one thing that you got to look at is, you know, when you have a range of 15, but the damage is 16. It's similar to running around with a ERPPC, but the range isn't the same. Damage outputs are better. You got the drawback of the heavy laser, but you're saving 2 tons. So I can understand why they use these things. So there's pros and cons with the heavy lasers. I'm not an overly big fan of the heavy laser system, but I understand why they use them. All right. Okay. Configuration I. This one has a targeting computer, carries a medium variable pulse laser in the right arm, a pair of ER medium lasers in the left, 3 heavy machine guns, half-ton of ammo, which is probably more than enough. Really, in most games, you don't always carry half-ton if you have to. There's really no reason to carry more. I've never seen machine gun ammo ever run out. Most of the time, all I see a machine gun do is getting hit and blowing a mech to sky high for some reason. I don't understand that, but, you know. And then we have left torso with streak 4 and 110 of ammunition at 1800 battle value. All right, so target computer, good. Made it up with your pulse laser. You have a really good chance of hitting with that weapon system. Your medium lasers give you a little bit of distance out to 15. And you do have the capability of hitting, and then your 3 heavy machine guns for taking on any type of infantry that you may come across. And then your streak will be what you use to go a little more crit hunting. Now, if you get close with the heavy machine guns and the streaks, yeah, then you're really pumping out your capability of crits on any holes that you may have punched through, or your star mates have punched in. All right. Configuration J. All right, this one carries a prototype, basically AC-8 with 2 tons of ammunition. And to be honest, I have never seen that weapon system ever on the tabletop. Ever. So this has got to be a way down the range. So in all the games I've ever played, I've like never seen one played with. All right. Doesn't mean it won't ever happen, but, you know, to be honest. And then we have in the left arm is a trio of ER medium lasers. Some nice damage output with that one, matched up with your AC cannon. So then you have a supercharger for giving you a heck of a boost with the mask. So this comes in at 2,000 battle value. So you could suddenly just fly across the table, get in behind somebody, hammer their rear arc, and then the next turn, adios amigos, I'm gone. You know, move on to the next one, type of deal. And they may not even, it's like they may have moved their mechs, and then suddenly gone, whoa, I was not expecting that, you know, because of looking at them getting in behind you. So there's that. Configuration T. All right, this one uses a plasma cannon in the right arm, 2 improved heavy lasers, so you don't have to worry about the drawback of the heavy laser. So there you got the improvement there. In the left arm, and these are supplemented by an SRM-6 and LRM-10, and the left and right torso. Plasma cannon has 2 tons of ammo, and the launchers have 1 ton of ammunition. Each comes in at slightly over 2,000 battle value. This one's harking back to the original configuration Prime. So, to be honest, yeah, not bad. It will get the job done. Let's put it that way. All right, configuration X. This one has a rack 2 in the right arm. I guess if you're facing off against VTOLs or ranged or vehicles out at long range, a 2-point shot at extreme range can suddenly just slow down vehicles. And when a vehicle slows down to having hardly any mods, they die quickly. And that's the sad fact of it when it comes to vehicles. They're cheaper, but they have the drawback of being mobile You know, get a mobility kill on him pretty easy, especially if you hit him in the flanks. You get into the right and left flank of the vehicle with a rack too, and you got the speed with the Black Lanner to do that. And then you're punching holes in, and you're turning a vehicle into a slow moving or not moving at all pillbox, and then your follow-on forces can just sit there and kill them. It has 2 improved heavy medium lasers in the arm for concentrated firepower. This comes in at almost 1700 battle value. All right, so you're pretty much, your whole configuration is wrapped around the rack too. So you're going to use that for taking out mostly VTOLs. It's kind of harks to a AA style platform. I think there's better things to use, but hey, if you got the points and you want to say, I can just shoehorn that in. It's not doesn't have a large amount of firepower to begin with, so there's that. Overall, that is the Black Lanner. Not a bad mech. It gets the job done. It can go out there and hammer targets, depending on what configurations you want to use. It's like for me, let me see here, popular one that we like to use. All right, it has an ER large laser, 2 ER medium lasers in the left arm, has a streak 6, an ER medium laser in the left torso, and then it has ECM. So basically, all we did was drop off the LRM-10 and favor another medium laser and upgrading it to a streak. So and it has an extra heat sink. So it can use stuff a little closer without having to worry too much about heat. But your heat's dictated by that ER large laser. So there's that. But it does work pretty decently. So there you go. That's the Black Lanner. Hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, share with friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Hellcracks out.